What if this moment isn't real in the way you think it is? What if time isn't moving at all, and you're not really travelling through it, but standing still inside it? Everything you've ever cared about, your memories, your choices, your sense of purpose, depends on this single thing we call the present. But science tells us the present may only exist inside your mind. Time feels like it flows forward. You wake up, you grow older, you move from one day to the next. You remember what happened, and you wait for what comes next. But physics shows a very different picture. In the universe, there isn't a clear line between the past, present, and future. All moments might exist at once, like pages in a book already written. We just experience one page at a time, so it feels like a story unfolding. To understand how this works, we need to start with something simple: what we feel as now. Your sense of the present isn't as immediate as you think. Every sound, every image, every touch takes a little time to reach your brain. It takes a few milliseconds for your eyes, ears, and nerves to send signals, and for your brain to combine them into a single moment. By the time you feel now, that moment has already passed. You're always living slightly in the past, but your brain smooths over the delay so the world feels continuous. It's like watching a live broadcast that's actually a few seconds behind, but your brain edits it so it feels instant. This process creates the feeling of time flowing, but time itself doesn't actually move. Your brain just updates your awareness frame by frame, giving you the illusion of a continuous present. Now let's step outside of our personal experience and look at time the way physics sees it. In Einstein's theory of relativity, time is a dimension, just like space. That means the universe doesn't treat time as something that flows or moves forward. It's part of the fabric of reality itself. In this view, called space-time, every event, every second of your life, every heartbeat, every star being born or dying, exists in a giant four-dimensional structure. The past and future aren't gone or waiting to happen. They already exist, fixed within space-time. It's hard to accept because we feel time passing. But that feeling isn't written into the universe. It's created by how we move through it. You can think of time as a landscape, and we are like travelers walking across it. The mountains, valleys, and roads already exist, but we can only see the part we're standing on. To us, it feels like the land appears and disappears, but in truth it's all there at once. Still, there's something strange. The laws of physics don't actually tell time which direction to go. If you reverse most equations, they still work perfectly. At the smaller scales, like in quantum physics, time doesn't even seem to care which way it moves. So why do we only experience time going forward? Why does a glass fall and break but never put itself back together? The answer lies in something called entropy. Entropy is a measure of disorder. It describes how things naturally move from order to chaos. When you pour milk into coffee, it mixes evenly and never unmixes. When a flame burns out, the energy spreads and doesn't come back together. These processes define the arrow of time. At the beginning of the universe, right after the Big Bang, everything was incredibly ordered and simple. Over billions of years, that order has slowly broken down into greater disorder. Stars form, burn, and die. Energy spreads out. Galaxies drift apart. This steady increase in entropy gives time its direction. Time feels like it moves forward because the universe is always moving from low disorder to high disorder. In that sense, time's arrow isn't built into nature, it's built into how the universe began. Now here's where it becomes personal again. We don't just live in time. We experience it through memory and imagination. We remember what has already happened, and we anticipate what might come next. That creates our sense of continuity. Without memory, there would be no past. Without imagination, there would be no future. Your awareness links both, and the space between them becomes your present. This is why our experience of time is emotional. When you're scared, time slows down. When you're happy, it speeds up. When you wait for something, it drags. When you're busy, it flies. Your brain's sense of timing stretches and shrinks depending on how you feel. That means the time you live through isn't measured only by clocks. It's shaped by your attention. Time feels longer when you notice more details and shorter when your mind is distracted. So maybe time doesn't pass through us at all. Maybe we create its flow by being aware of it. Now let's zoom out again. The universe is 13.8 billion years old. In that entire span, human history fits into a tiny fraction of a second. Our lives are so brief compared to cosmic time that they almost vanish. But the fact that we exist right now isn't random. In the early universe, everything was too hot and dense for life to exist. In the far future, everything will be too cold and dark. But in this middle period, the conditions are just right for life and consciousness to form. Stars like the Sun have been around long enough to create the heavy elements that make up our bodies. Planets like Earth are stable enough for life to survive. The universe is calm enough for complex minds to appear. We exist now because this era allows us to. In other times, we wouldn't be here at all. Still, the question remains, what does it mean to live in this moment if all moments exist together? Philosophers have offered two main answers. One idea, called eternalism, says that all points in time are equally real. The past, the present, and the future are all part of one giant structure. Your birth, your death, and everything between them already exists somewhere in space-time. What you experience as now is simply where your consciousness is focusing at this point in the structure. The other idea, called presentism, says that only the present is real, the past is gone, and the future doesn't exist yet. Only this instant truly exists. If eternalism is true, then the future is already written. If presentism is true, then every moment is being created right now. Both ideas feel strange. Eternalism can make us feel trapped, as if everything is already decided. Presentism can make life feel fragile, as if every moment disappears as soon as it happens. But both can also bring comfort. If all time exists, then nothing is ever truly lost. Every memory, every feeling, every act of kindness still exists somewhere in the structure of space-time. If only the present is real, then every second matters more than we can imagine. Each moment is a tiny creation that will never happen again. Either way, now is precious. Even if the present is an illusion, what happens within it is real to us. Love, hope, fear, and joy are all part of the human experience. They give meaning to our movement through time. Science can explain how time behaves, but it cannot explain what it feels like to live it. The laws of physics describe entropy and relativity, but they don't describe the weight of a memory or the feeling of a heartbeat. That part belongs to consciousness. So maybe the real mystery isn't time itself, but awareness. We may never fully understand time. We may never know if it flows or stands still or even exists in the way we think it does. But we can feel it. We can fill it with meaning. Because even if all of time already exists, this moment still matters. And it always will. Why do you think we exist in this exact moment? Comment your thoughts below and don't forget to like and subscribe while you're there.